everybody. So it's been a while. I haven't been making videos lately, and just been really busy with some crazy real life situations I'm trying to work through and get resolved. I need for y'all to pray for me, and hope I can just get my personal affairs together. So I came across something today, and I just really felt compelled to do a video. I really don't have time to be doing this because, like I said, I do have some real life stuff that I need to be focused on. But every once in a while, you see things in the media that you just feel that you have to comment on, right? So one of the things that has recently popped up is this thing with Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, right? I think mostly Chrissy Teigen, and it has something to do with some type of conspiracy. And I need somebody to explain this to me because I'm just kind of like trying to put all the pieces together for myself. I don't quite understand it. I don't quite know what's going on. So I'm going to put that out there. And everything I say and show you in this video is alleged, and it's done under freedom of speech. And I understand that, YouTube does reviews, and it does determine whether or not your video is about sensitive topics and so on and so forth. And then it may choose not to show your video based on the sensitivity of the video. But I'm going to ask for a pass on this particular video. And I'm asking for a pass because it's important and it's worthy of public interest, right? It's something that's important. And as you guys know, my channel is about law. That's all I talk about. All I talk about is law, or from time to time I talk about other things that may not have anything to do with law. Like I think I had poker videos on up, and I put some motivational videos. So from time to time you'll get stuff like that. But for the most part, the channel is dedicated to law. So I'm asking YouTube for a pass on this one. Yes, it's a sensitive subject, and yes, it involves protected individuals. But it again, it's worthy in the context of the subject of law, so that's why I need a pass. So if you guys haven't figured out what this is about by now, well, actually, you should know what it's about because I'm going to put it in my title. But basically, there seems to be some conspiracy theory from some. Let me see if I can just Google this for you guys really fast. But there is some type of conspiracy theory feed, I believe, and I haven't really done much work on trying to figure out and investigate what QAnon is, but apparently I'm just going to read what it says here. It's a far right wing conspiracy theory detailing a supposed secret plot by an alleged deep state against the US President Donald Trump and his supporters, right? So I think I saw some video early on. I can't really find it, but Trump comes out and he basically says, this is the calm before the storm. He's going to fight back and expose, these satanic people out there that are against him and trying to take him down. And I'm not saying that, what he's saying is true. I mean, Trump does have his own problems, and we're not going to get into his problems as a president. This is not the video for that. Maybe later I'll do a video on Trump presidency, but for the most part, I don't even think I have to because there's really nothing to talk about because everyone knows that, you know what, I'm just going to stop that right there. But look, so anyway, there's this conspiracy feed, QAnon, and I'm not sure how it works. If you know how this thing works, leave your questions and comments below. I want to know how this thing works, right? So QAnon is supposed to be some type of conspiracy feed, which basically exposes people for their criminal acts or their misdoings, so to speak. So now we got that out of the way, let's just switch over to Twitter here, right? So apparently, what they're saying is, and this is alleged, I don't know if any of this stuff is true. Quite honestly, I haven't really paid attention to Chrissy Teigen. I've never really thought she was an interesting person as a model. And I like some of John Legend's music. But for the most part, I'm not a huge fan. I think I liked him when he first came out, but he hasn't really done anything lately that would make me want to listen to him. I think I like his cut "Ordinary People" and a few others, right? But apparently, there's this conspiracy theory, or I don't know if it's true. I don't know. You guys be the judge. Leave your questions and comments below. Help me out. Give me some guidance on what's going on here. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. I don't quite understand it, but at any rate, there is some type of accusations against Chrissy Teigen saying that she's basically a pedophile, right? So I'm just going to read some. So I actually did a Twitter search, and you can do one too, but you may not have to. I've already done it. And I just put in Q Anon and Chrissy Teigen, and it looks like I'm seeing some of the drama that has been going on with this thing. And apparently, she's threatening to leave Twitter if they don't deal with this conspiracy theory. So, from a legal standpoint, before we get into what type of things that are being said, from a legal standpoint, I don't believe Twitter should do anything so long as the people that are coming out and speaking against this is doing it in a respectful manner and they're not making any threats, so on and so forth. Now, in my opinion, some of this stuff could be considered doxing, but if it's true and it's done to potentially expose a person who commits crimes, then I think it could be valid, right? So if you want to know what doxing is, go back to my YouTube page and do a search for my videos. And I think I did a video on doxing. It may not be called doxing, but I think it was caught up in the Jocelyn Savage or the Savage parents and some of the videos that they were doing. So maybe you have to look up the Savages, or maybe even just look up the word doxing. It's doxing. It's not doxing. Uh, I think it's short for dropping docs online, right? DOXING, right? So I don't think this quite qualifies as doxing because this is potentially criminal behavior if it's true. Now she actually didn't. Let me rephrase. She actually didn't. Allegedly, she hasn't done anything criminally, but what she's done is that she, according to these tweets, I don't know if they're her tweets, but according to these tweets, it looks like she has expressed pedophilia on Twitter. Now, I'm not sure if that's actually the case. I kind of believe it is when you see some of these tweets, and you let me know. You let me know. Do you think that she could possibly be a pedophile or a closet pedophile? Let me know. I don't know. You let me know. Questions and comments below. But I think this could possibly warrant an investigation from the feds, right? So as you know, Chrissy Teigen was one of the people that has come out against R. Kelly. And I'm not making this video in retaliation of that. I'm just basically stating facts, right? So she was one of the people that actually came out against R. Kelly, and I just find it kind of odd that she is typically being, not typically, she's possibly, well, she's being accused of the same thing, basically being a pedophile. But let me, without further ado, let's just go through some of these tweets. So, Prayful Servant Chrissy Teigen threatens to leave Twitter if if the company doesn't deal with the conspiracy theories known as QAnon. Honestly, like I said, I don't believe that Twitter should do anything. I think Twitter should just let this ride. You put those tweets out there. And the other thing is that when you put stuff out on the internet, you open yourself up to public scrutiny. It's not private information anymore. It's not harassment because you put it out there, and when you put stuff out there to the general public, you allow the general public the opportunity to respond, right? So I could see if it was probably taking from some private comments that you said in your own home or something like that, then yeah, Twitter should do something about that, right? Because they're posting your private conversations that you had in your home. And then it really just depends on what state, right? Some states have different laws when it comes down to privacy. Anyway, leave your questions and comments below. Let me know what you think. But let's get through some of these tweets. Chrissy Teigen is apparently a part of QAnon, and for some reason it's not surprised. I'm not surprised, right? So let me see if I can actually find some of the. Okay, so here is one. Now, apparently, this is supposedly Chrissy Teigen's tweet. I'm not sure if it is. You let me know. And basically, it's a reply to Kevin Shockey. And I don't know the full context of this, and it basically just says, nah, he just said the cleanest and best pleasure is to have sex with a 13-year-old, and then up until that, ha ha ha, right? So I don't know who they're talking about. And I was like, that's nothing. And I'll just blow it off. But as I continue to search, here's another tweet, and apparently Chrissy Teigen was on Epstein's flight logs, right? And everyone know who Epstein is, and everyone knows of the allegations against Epstein. I'm assuming this is a flight log from one of his private jets, and apparently Chrissy Teigen was on one of his jets, right? That's the I'm not saying this is the case, but that's the conclusion I'm drawing because Epstein had his own plane, so on and so forth. And if you show up in his flight logs, that means you flew on one of his planes, and you probably went to some destination that he had. You know, you were probably on one of his destinations. I'm not going to say she went to that island, but you were kicking it with Epstein, and I mean it's obvious because you're on this flight log. Epstein, to my knowledge, did not have a flight service where he would offer to take you from, let's say, Miami to LA for payment. If you're on his flight logs, you're on his flight logs because you were kicking it with him, plain and simple, right? So just moving on. And there's some really odd ones here too. So here's one that I thought was really odd. If you said eat this one bite of human and you can eat any other meat, I'm sorry. If you said eat this one bite of human and you can eat any other meat for the rest of your life, or Chrissy, you eat turkey forever, I'd eat human, right? So to me, what I understand is what I understand she's saying if you had a fresh bite of human flesh, you wouldn't want any other meat in your life. And if you said, Chrissy, you eat turkey forever or human, which one would you choose? She's saying she eat human. Now, honestly, this could be something taken out of context. I've heard of these satanic groups out there that eat babies and things of that nature. I'm not saying any of that stuff is true. A lot of that stuff is just conspiracy theory. There was one conspiracy theory that I heard, the Bilderberg group, I believe I heard it was. And I don't know if any of this stuff is true. And I'm not saying it's true, but I heard that there is a group out there where, I think it's the Bilderberg group. I'm not sure, where they go off into, once a year, and then they sacrifice babies and, so on and so forth. To me, that's just really a lot of conspiracy theory. If anybody has any evidence or any accusations about that, definitely leave your question comments below. And actually, I'd like to have an interview with you if you have information on that type of thing, or you know of the conspiracy theory where you can break it down fresh for me. I want to hear it. Again, so I think it's just purely conspiracy theory, and that's it, right? So I think this is probably just something taken out of context. It could have been a situation where she was biting on her husband, John Legend, biting on his neck, and she's just throwing that out there, just trying to be funny. I'm going to give her some room on this, so let's just keep it moving. And then here it says, and this one is a little off. It's a little off to me. Like, I don't know what to make of this. You guys, and it's not funny. I'm sorry. I don't know what to make of this. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know what to make of this. What conclusions should be drawn from this. I'm just going to read it. You can see it's right there. Let me know what conclusion you draw from this. And she goes, seeing little girls do the splits half naked is just, I just want to put myself in jail. And then she goes, hashtag toddlers and tiaras, right? So I'm not even going to even draw any conclusions from this. You can obviously see that there's a subtext here. I'm not going to say what that subtext is, but honestly, you can understand that a reasonable person is going to go down a certain path with this subtext, and that path is not a good path. They're not going to have good thoughts about anyone who would say something like this. So I'm just going to leave that there and we're just going to move on. But I want to hear from you. Leave your questions and comments below. Let me know what you think the subtext is. Let me know what you think she's talking about here, right? Because this is kind of where we get into that disgusting zone. And I can't in good conscience continue talking about this particular text without, going into a disgusting area that I just don't want to even go down. So let me know what you guys think about this particular text. And then here's another one. Accidentally went to the children's aquarium looking pretty pedo bear-ish, cruising the parking lot. Again, I don't know if these are coming from Chrissy Teigen. So you have to give anybody the benefit of the doubt. You have to consider that maybe their account was hacked. You have to consider that maybe someone took her photo and put it on the account, right? I don't even know what Chrissy Teigen's official Twitter account is. So you got to give her the benefit of the doubt. Some of this stuff is just really looking bad and is really looking incriminating. Accidentally went to the children's aquarium looking pretty pedo bearish, cruising the parking lot. You got to give people the benefit of doubt. And I think if you're the FBI, though, if you're the FBI and you're in the sex crimes unit, you have to raise an eyebrow and you have to do an investigation. And you have to, number one, determine whether or not this is actually her account. And then number two, you have to determine whether or not she actually tweeted this, right? Because again, we all know we live in a deep fake society. Anything can be forged, anything can be put out there to make it look like it's official. So you gotta get over that first, right? You gotta get over that first. And basically this isn't a crime. To my understanding, this isn't a crime, but I think this warrants an investigation. If this is her account, if this is her actual something that she tweeted, I think this warrants a warrant to look at her computers and to retrieve her electronic media to see if there's any pedophilia, right? Again, I'm not saying that she is a pedophile. I'm saying that, these tweets look pedophile-ish, right? Even this tweet is saying it's pedophile-ish, right? Looking pretty pedo-bearish, cruising the parking lot. So I don't know who this is. I don't know that this is Chrissy Teigen, but I think this warrants an investigation. Let me know what you think. Please leave your questions and comments below. This is pretty important stuff. I want to hear what you guys think. and then we move on. There were some other tweets on here. So, and obviously she's getting spammed with this stuff. And, she's deleting tweets and she's blocking people. And let me see here. Here's a tweet. Okay, pissing them off is more than being sad, right? More fun than being sad. I'm sorry. Pissing them off is more. I'm sorry. Pissing them off is way more fun than being sad. Okay, all right, whatever. Uh, just moving on here. There was some other tweets that I found that just didn't look right, and this one I don't get. I'm going to jail over pizza. Like, what are like? I don't get how this is bad. I don't get that one. Right. Um. Let me see here. And apparently, this is some sort of summary of tweets that Chrissy Teigen actually deleted, and it shows that there were about 28,000 tweets that she's kind of gone through and deleted. Again, allegedly, she's gone through it and deleted. I don't know that this is true. I don't know where this information is coming from. This is all alleged. And again, who's Kevin Shockey? I don't know who Kevin Shockey is. I'm not even going to look him up. But there were one or two other tweets that I saw. And I don't think that Twitter should clean any of this stuff up. So, again, here is another bizarre tweet. And I don't know. I'm just going to stop saying this by now. Everything that I say on this video is alleged. So, and I don't know if this came from her, and I don't know if this is her account. So I'm just gonna stop saying it. But here's another bizarre tweet: skinny pedos drink pedo light. Right? There's tons of these tweets, and this isn't even the tweet that I saw earlier, which I'm looking for. But I am just trying to find the tweet. Now, it could be that maybe, she just doesn't understand the words that she's using. Maybe she doesn't understand that she's using a bad word, you know, pedophile or pedo, and she's using it in the reference of children, but in her mind, she's using it in a joking manner, right? She's using it in a joking manner. Hey, I'm just trying to give her some leeway. I don't want to believe that, this woman is a pedophile. I don't want to believe that. But if you believe it, leave your questions and comments below and let me know why you believe it. Right? Again, I don't know much about Chrissy Teigen, but I just want to give her the benefit of the doubt. That's all I want to do. Give her the benefit of the doubt, because everyone deserves a benefit of the doubt. Everyone deserves that. And we do live in a society where anybody can be canceled, with the snap of a finger. And part of me wants to come to her defense and basically try to make sense of all this. And then another part of me is like, nah, this chick is a pedophile. She is what she is. So I'm confused. I am actually confused. You guys help me get unconfused with this stuff. So, and I'm still trying to find the tweet which I was actually looking for, and I just can't find it. Man, this is really bizarre. This is really bizarre. Here's another tweet, and I'm not even gonna try to explain this one. You guys be the judge of this one. basically another tweet allegedly by Teigen, and she basically just says Nori Mission 1, find this. And you guys see what this is, and I don't know the story behind this statue, right? I don't know the story behind the statue. I don't know the story behind the statue. I really don't know the story behind the statue. A, a picture can be worth 1,000 words. You guys let me know what you think about this post by Teigen. So it looks like I can't even find the tweet that I was looking for. I came across a crazy tweet that she made, but it looks like it's probably been deleted by now. Let's see here. The tweet I'm looking for is where she said that she saw a male toddler or something like that, allegedly, and she said something dirty about him. I just can't find this damn thing. Let me see. Maybe this is one of them. All right. Seeing little girls do splits. We covered that. Going to jail over pizza. I don't understand why pizza is such a bad tweet. You guys explain that one to me. And then this one I haven't seen. It's always weird. It always weirds me out how strong little toddlers' tummies can look. And I am aware of how absolutely disturbing that sounds. I don't get that. Explain that one to me. You guys explain that to me. Always weirds me out how strong little toddlers' tummies can look. And I aware of how absolutely disturbing that sounds. Don't get it. And then another one, a belly and a shirt with a small sexy toddler on it is saying, one, duh, what does a guy wear to a toddler's and tiara party? Don't get it. Then I want pizza again. Don't understand the pizza reference. Brad Pitt just handed us pizza. I woke up this morning with pizza on my chest and ranch dressing all over me. So if you think I'm too good for this, you're sadly mistaken. And then pedophiles delight toddlers and tiara star 4 Don fake boobs. But I so this is probably the worst tweet of all these. But yeah, so someone explain the pizza reference to me. I don't get it. Just moving on. Still haven't found the tweet I was looking for. What the hell? I'm about to Anthony Weiner this kid. Wow. This is bizarre. This is bizarre, guys. Definitely give me your thoughts on this. Again, I think we have to give people the benefit of doubt. Of the doubt here, I think that sometimes people say stupid things. So is she not realizing how stupid this sounds? Right? It really doesn't sound stupid, but does she not realize how bad this stuff sounds when she tweets it? Or do you think she actually means what she's tweeting here, right? Because again, I think it could just be a situation where she's just trying to be silly, trying to be funny, and she's just saying, silly things, right? Hopefully, I pray that she doesn't mean the things that she tweets. I mean, all of us have been in situations where we just put in our foots in our mouth and we say things that we really don't mean. The only problem with this is that there's just tons of tweets like this, and this still isn't the tweet that I was looking for. This is just yet another bizarre tweet that I'm finding. Right, I'm about to Anthony Weiner this kid. Everybody knows who Anthony Weiner is. He was the politician who was sexting, and he was convicted of sending sexual tweets to an underage person. Right, And then she goes, I know what parents go through when they are forced to tie their kids up in the basement. You have to do it, but it's icky. Am I right? I know what parents go through when they are forced to tie their kids up in the basement. You have to do it, but it's icky. Am I right? I don't get that one. I don't get that one. I'm just gonna leave that one alone. I don't know what this is. This is probably just some spam conspiracy theory listing off all the people that have been arrested. I don't think Chrissy Teigen has been arrested because the name is here. Chrissy Teigen arrested, awaiting tribunal. And then they have Gail Godot arrested, executed, and so on and so forth. I don't buy this. Just looking for the actual tweet that I saw earlier. Water slides that goes through a shark tank. F yeah, time to get my pedal on. Again, I mean, I'm hoping that she's just trying to be funny. She's just posting silly stuff. I mean, but at this point, I mean, you guys just let me know if I'm off. Let me know what you think about this. So, pizza is a reference to Pizzagate. I don't. Let's just look up and see what the heck Pizzagate is, because I'm not getting the pizza reference. Pizzagate conspiracy theory thrives anew in TikTok era. The false theory targeting Democrats now fueled by QAnon and teenagers on TikTok is entertaining new targets like Justin Bieber. Bieber, I'm sorry. Um, Justin Bieber. Washington, 4 minutes into a video that was posted on Instagram last month, Justin Bieber leaned into the camera and adjusted the front of his black knit beanie for some of his 130 million followers. It was a signal. In the video, someone had posted a comment asking Bieber to touch his hat if he had been a victim of child trafficking ring known as Pizzagate. So Pizzagate is a child trafficking ring. Thousands of comments were flooded in, and there was no evidence that Mr. Bieber had seen the message. But the pop star's innocuous gesture set off a flurry of online activity, which highlighted the resurgence of one of the social media's earliest conspiracy theory. So I guess the reference to Pizzagate or pizza is the conspiracy theory of child molestation. See if we can get some more on this. Pizzagate conspiracy theory. I should have clicked this one first. Pizzagate is a debunked conspiracy theory that went viral during the 2016 United States presidential election. It has been extensively discredited by wide ranges of organizations, including Washington, D.C. police. In March 2016, the personal email account of John Podesta, Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, was hacked in a spear phishing attack. WikiLeaks published the emails in November 2016. Proponents of the Pizzagate conspiracy theory falsely claimed the emails contained coded messages that connected several high-ranking Democratic Party officials, U.S. restaurants, with an alleged human trafficking and child sex ring. So there you go. That's what Pizzagate is. So when you see Chrissy Teigen talking about Pizzagate, she could just be joking. She could just be joking, and she's just making light of this debunked conspiracy theory that children are being trafficked through pizza restaurants, right? So I don't know, guys. You let me know what you think this is. Where was I? Anyway, let's just keep going. And this is her. I actually deleted 60,000 tweets because I cannot effing stand you idiots anymore, and I'm worried for my family finding me talking about toddlers and tiaras in 2013 and thinking you're on some sort of freaking operative. Uh, See, and that's the thing about Twitter, right? That's the thing about social media. So let's just pretend for a minute that she didn't. I'm not saying that she actually is a pedophile, and I'm not saying that she, posted like coded pedophile messages to, communicate with other pedophiles on the internet. I'm not saying she did that. But the thing about the internet is that once you post something out there, basically you are putting something out there for eternity. And because you put this out there, people have a right to respond. People have a right to discuss this information that you put out there, right? So that's why I always tell people be careful what you post. People are posting any and everything on the internet. People are putting their personal lives on the world to be displayed. Me personally, that's why when you look at my channel really isn't about me. It's not about the personal details of the non-lawyer. And that's why I don't put a picture out there, right? I don't put a picture out there because of stuff like this could potentially happen. Anything like this can potentially happen to you, right? Now, again, I'm not defending Chrissy Teigen. On one hand, I am, because I'm trying to just give any and everybody the benefit of the doubt, because this can be done to anybody, right? The same thing that is being essentially done to R. Kelly is being done to her now, right? The only difference is that she's not going to jail for it, right? So basically, everybody deserves the benefit of the doubt. Now, with that said, these are things that she actually put out there allegedly. And if she put these things out there, then we have to ask what's in her subconscious. Because I know that there's something called the Freudian slips. So are these tweets the result of Freudian slips, which means that, Freud was this famous psychologist. I'm not going to pretend I know his work well. I remember going over some of his work in some sociology class or psychology class in high school, very long time. And he came up with this theory that people actually express their desires uh, unintentionally, right? A lot of people unintentionally express their deep, dark desires unintentionally, and these are Freudian slips. So, although and I may be messing this up, so if you're a psychologist, definitely jump in on this and let me know, what's going on here from a psychological perspective. Are these Chrissy Teigen tweets a result of a Freudian slip? She's expressing her deep dark desires, maybe jokingly, but she's expressing her deep dark desires for toddlers. Let me know if you think that could be the case. I'm not saying it is. It could possibly be the case. And then another thing is that, she could just be joking, just make a light of all the current affairs. But the problem with this is that you're just seeing so many tweets by this woman on this subject. Now, this video is getting really long. I didn't mean for this video to get this long. I'm going to try to wrap this up sometime soon here. I'm really just looking for a tweet that she made about a little boy. This is one of the tweets that I was looking for. I just saw a baby that looked like a porn star, like a trashy do anything porn star. Is this wrong to think? Yes, this is wrong to think. You need to go and get help. You need to go and sit down and talk to a psychologist about, these thoughts that you're having. For real, seriously. And again, we don't know that this is Chrissy Teigen's account. I'm not saying it is, and I'm not, and even if it is, I'm not saying that she posted this, but yes, if you have these thoughts, you need to go and talk to somebody now. You need to go and talk to your priest. You need to go and talk to your minister. You need to go and talk to your psychologist. Yes, these thoughts are wrong to have in today's civilized society. Now, maybe these thoughts are okay if you're in the deep, dark depths of hell and you're basically doing anything, any and everything you want to any and everybody. Yeah, if you're in hell, these thoughts may be okay, but I think even Satan may kick you out of hell if you're thinking like this. So I mean, let me know what you think about this stuff, guys. I'm really going to have to cut this video off or stop this video soon because it's just really getting too long. Yeah, so I'm just going to end this video right here. And uh, I don't know if I've shown this already. I'm about to Anthony Weiner this because I'm about to Anthony Weiner this kid. I think I showed that. Uh, yeah. So all right. So wrapping this video up, I just spent 45 minutes talking about Chrissy Teigen. I only intended to do this for about 10 minutes. So this video has definitely got out of control. Okay, so look, from a legal standpoint, I don't think she can sue anybody for harassment. I don't think she can claim that people are harassing her if she put these tweets out herself. Now, if someone else put this stuff out and they took images, because you can easily take a tweet, put Chrissy Teigen on there, and put at Chrissy Teigen, right? You can easily do that. Anybody can forge a tweet, right? It's not rocket science, right? But if she herself put these tweets out, then she can't now claim that it's harassment, right? Because there's no expectation to privacy when you make public statements like this. Is it doxing? I don't think it is doxing, right? Or doxing. I don't know why I keep saying doxing. I don't think it is doxing, right? So doxing is when you find private information and you expose it to the public. So the Jeffrey Epstein flight log could be considered doxing, but the problem is that it's more of an investigation. I think doxing, again, I've made videos on doxing and you can check it out on my channel. I think doxing would have to involve doing this for a malicious purpose. But when you're doxing to expose a potential crime, or you're doxing to expose a potential predator, right? And it's reasonable. I don't think that a person can be convicted or held civilly liable for doxing. I don't think it's a criminal crime to dox. I think it's probably more of an invasion of privacy tort, right? So if the person is doing that to try to expose what they believe is a criminal, and there's a reasonable, or I don't want to say probable cause, but it's reasonable what they're doing because of the tweet she's made. I don't think it could be considered doxing. Should Twitter do anything about this? Should any other internet providers do anything about this, or internet media companies do anything about this? I don't think so. So long as people are basically posting this information in a respectful manner and they're not doing it strictly to harass her, but rather doing it to expose her, then I think they get a free pass, and I don't think the social media companies should try to do anything about it, right? So honestly, I think she's in a really tight squeeze here. If I were her, and I could not ever be her because I'm never gonna make tweets like this because I don't have an affinity for toddlers, right? Especially toddlers that aren't my own. I'm not I don't hate babies, but I don't want the responsibility of watching toddlers that is not my own. If you were like my sister or my aunt or my cousin, you take that baby with you. I don't, want to be cooped up in the house, babysitting. So I don't like I don't dislike toddlers unless it's my toddler. If it's my toddler, then and it looks like me, then I'm good, right? But kids in general, I just don't want to be bothered with kids, right? But I would never say anything like this about toddlers because I don't have sexual thoughts about toddlers, right? So I think that she has a problem, and if I were in her situation, I would, number one, hire a professional to help me deal with this. And when I say professional, I should say professionals, right? She obviously needs a lawyer, in my opinion. I think she needs a publicist to handle this. And yeah, I would be trying to figure out some type of strategy on how to deal with this, right? Because a couple of things are happening here. Now, you could potentially have the FBI put you under investigation because all of these tweets have been kind of like condensed and summarized, and the FBI has a responsibility to look at stuff like this. Some of you may know or may not know that there are pedophile communities which go out and they have secret codes and they have secret language that they use to communicate with each other and share content, public content. Like the content that they're showing may not be exposing little children and little kids, but it could be content that they could get off on, right? And I think I actually first came across a story on a YouTuber of how they were constantly sharing. Like the YouTuber pointed, I don't know if it was, I forget where I saw this, but I saw an article, maybe it was on YouTube, and it listed a procedure of how you can get a constant feed of videos that pedophiles like. And as you know, the way the YouTube algorithms work, once you start searching one thing, YouTube is constantly going to start serving you up more of that thing that you search for, right? So you kind of get off on a, in lack of a better word, you'll say a mental frequency. And once you tune into that frequency, you're going to start receiving all other videos on that frequency. So I read an article. I forget. I'll see if I can find it later. But I read some article, or maybe I just saw a YouTube video of a person explaining how that system worked, and I forget how they found out, but basically I think they were like maybe watching a video and they were paying attention to the comments of some of the posters, and they quickly realized that you can kind of get into a channel, right? YouTube has channels, but you can get into a underground secret channel where you can get a constant feed of pedophile videos, right? And I've even seen people on Twitter talk about how some company are selling little girls underwear for an exorbitant amount of money. There's a lot of crazy stuff out there. So Chrissy Teigen has to worry about, number one, working, right? I guess she's a supermodel, and I'm not sure if that part of her career is over, but obviously she could have wanted to do some acting. She could probably want to sing. I don't know that she could sing, but basically, if she ever plans on working again, then this is going to be something that's going to tarnish her image. This is something that could also probably affect her husband, who is a musician, John Legend. So she needs to get, both he and her needs to get a lawyer to deal with this type of stuff. And they need to get a publicist, right? Now, you know what? So I'm going to take something back. I said YouTube and Twitter. I think it was Twitter. Twitter shouldn't do anything about this. But I think there's a law. I know the law exists in the UK, and I think it's called the right to be forgotten. Let me see if it's something. There's something like that in the US. The right to be forgotten. Let's see. the right to be forgotten reflects the claim of an individual to have certain data deleted so that third persons can no longer trace them. It has been defined as the right to silence on past events in life that are no longer occurring. The right to be forgotten leads to allow individuals to have information. Let's see here. So this is I think, because I remember this in the context of some type of case in Europe, but I don't know if the United States has a version. Consideration of the right to be forgotten can be seen in U.S. case law, specifically Melvin v. Reed and in Cetus v. FR Publishing. In Melvin v. Reed, 1931, an ex-prostitute was charged with murder and then acquitted. She subsequently tried to assume a quiet and anonymous place in society. However, in 1925, the red kimono revealed her story, and she successfully sued the producer. Right. So I guess in common law, there is the right to be forgotten. According to this case, the court reasoned that any person living a life of rectitude has a right to happiness, and happiness which includes a freedom from unnecessary attacks on his character, social standing, and reputation. Actually, I don't even know if that's gonna fly, but so yeah, so I think they need to reach out. Their lawyers needs to reach out to these social media companies to remove this information, right? Their lawyers need to reach out to these social media companies to remove this information, um, simply because she wants to move on. Now, I don't know if that's going to be successful because this is a recent conspiracy, and it could possibly be true. It may be true that she made all these posts. Maybe she was speaking in code to people to actually enjoy pedophilia. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. But some of the stuff that she's been posting could possibly lead to a legitimate prosecution for pedophilia. I am not saying that she has pornography on her uh, computer. I'm not saying she has it on her phone. But anybody that's reading these tweets is going to be like, well, damn, she's a pedophile. And if they're in a legal capacity, I think this is justification for getting the warrant to basically go through her stuff to see if she has any pedophilia. Let me know what you guys think on that. And let me know what you think about this entire video. Am I off? Am I wrong? Am I taking this too far? Am I conspiracy theory psycho? Am I conspiracy theory nut? Let me know. Leave your questions and comments below.